welcome to another edition of Living in Shelby Township. I'm Kelly Castuda here with Pam Marshall, the coordinator of a great event happening at the Shelby Township Activity Center. Pam, what's going on here tonight?
Well, we've got our first ever Shelby Township Snack and Shop, and it's a vendor fair and Tastefest. We've got about 45 different vendors.
Wow.
All together, yeah. We've got a couple of restaurants that are doing tastes of food, so you get a little taste of what they have to offer in their restaurants. We have product consultants, we have crafters and some artists and some organizations, some service organizations, and
just
local
a
businesses.
Fun night.
Yeah, just a big variety, and hopefully people that are coming tonight will get a chance to do some early Christmas shopping, get that out of the way. So there's a nice variety of stuff here.
What was it like kind of putting this together as you're trying to gather all these businesses and you're thinking, okay, I want it to be, very community focused?
Actually, the putting together part wasn't that tough because once we got the word out, we had people calling and emailing like crazy. So we had a really nice response from the community. We actually even have a waiting list of people that wanted to get in that couldn't. And like I said, we've got a good-sized group here. It's pretty crowded. So
and really, I mean,
happy.
It's like this is packed. You've got people in other rooms.
Yeah, there's 2 classrooms and the craft room there that have more vendors as well. So
wow.
Yeah.
Now I think everybody watching is going to want to know: are we going to do this again next year or in a few months?
If we do it again, it'll probably not be until next year. It might be an annual thing.
Rats.
I know. But we'll see. I mean, we're going to see how tonight goes because this is our first ever. And, I've put together other events for the department forever, but this is a first for us for this. So we're going to see how it works out and if it's a success, which so far it looks like it's going to be.
Oh, absolutely. And with this new activity center, I think the township can expect a ton of new, events to happen.
Oh, yeah. That's what we're hoping to do is, it brings more people out here so that way they can see all the good things that we have going on.
Yeah.
And get a chance to see the new center and see the other activities that they can participate in.
So if you haven't come out tonight, don't worry, there will be plenty of events happening in the future.
Oh, yeah. We'll have all kinds of stuff. So
yeah, and look for Pam, Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks. I appreciate you coming out.
Fencing is a sport that teaches traditional swordsmanship skills to a whole new generation. The second annual Jared Attaway tournament happened right here at the Shelby Township Activity Center. Let's take a look.
Something that you don't see very often, the second annual Jared Attaway fencing tournament just visited the Shelby Township Activity Center.
This is the Jared Attaway Memorial Fencing Tournament for youth. We are part of the Honor Guards Fencing Club, and here hosting the tournament for the kids. Chose this space because it is open, friendly, it's fresh and new, and it's different, so we wanted to try it out.
Fencing is a combat sport that involves a saber, foil, or épée, which are types of swords. Athletes can win points through their weapon's contact with their opponent. Kendall Novak is a fencing instructor for the tournament.
So I've been fencing since 2011. I started in college just because I needed some sort of sport. Thought fencing would be fun to try. So I started in 2011. I fenced for 6 years in college at Oakland University, fencing saber, and now I've coached ever since.
To hone their skills, athletes must participate in rigorous training and sparring to master their technique.
It's very back and forth, very interactive, so we have practice a few times a week, at least 3 hours a week, or for each practice, and we start off usually by doing a lot of footwork drills, then we do drills teaching them new tactics, and then we bout for the last end of practice to practice the new tactics that we've learned.
Living in Shelby Township.
Touch for the right.
Are you interested in taking care of a reptile or amphibian at home, but not sure how to take care of them? Why not adopt one at our Burgess Shadbush Nature Center? One-year adoptions are $25 for a small animal and $50 for a large animal. You'll get an adoption certificate, and the adoption fee will help cover vet care and expenses for your animal. You're encouraged to come in regularly to take care of your animal. For more information, you can call the Burgess Shadbush Nature Center at 586-323-2478 or contact them at naturecenter@shelbytwp.org. You can visit the Nature Center yourself at 4101 Riverbends Drive off of the Ryan Road entrance of Riverbends Park.
Do you ever just want to put on your pajamas and cuddle up with a good book? Well, that's exactly what happened at the Shelby Township Library, where kids and their parents donned their best PJs for an entertaining story time.
This past week, the library brought families together with their fun-filled Families and Jammies Storytime event.
So we had a special edition of our Family and Jammies Storytime tonight. We regularly on select Thursdays have a Families and Jammies Storytime where families of all ages can come with all their kids and wear their pajamas and have some stories and songs and rhymes and stuff. But we had a special guest reader tonight, a local girl in our library community that wrote her own book that came to share it with all of the kids in our community. So sometimes we like to have a special friend or a guest come and share something cool with the kids and do something a little bit different.
Special guest, Katie Kazar-Catby, is a local young author who wrote the book The Unicorn with No Horn. She read her book at the unicorn-themed event.
It's super exciting to be able to read the book to a bunch of kids who maybe don't know about my book but now do, and I'm so excited that I get to share my book.
In addition to the story time, the event consisted of songs, crafts, and of course, PJs.
It's a chance for me to show off my unicorn pajamas. I also wear my unicorn pants and unicorn fuzzy socks and unicorn shoes and unicorn earrings and unicorn necklace and twisty pat and headbands.
Coming up in December at the library,
Monday night, December 2nd at 6 o'clock in the library atrium, we will be doing our annual tree trimming party. So that is open to, again, families, no registration required, anyone can come. And we'll all make some ornaments and help decorate our Christmas tree, and we always have a lot of cookies and punch and just a great time kicking off the holiday Christmas season. So that's coming up on December 2nd.
for a living, I'm Alexa Tedeschi.
But first, we wine. The Shelby Gardeners Club heads over to Ray Township for a special wine tasting at Youngblood Winery.
The Gardeners Club is usually knee-deep in mulch or dirt, making the township look a little bit more beautiful. This past week, the Shelby Gardeners Club headed over to Youngblood Vineyard to get a little lesson on growing grapes. Wine grapes.
It was phenomenal. I had no idea that there was this kind of facility in our area. My mom used to sell wine for the St. Julian Winery in Mackinac City. So I knew that Michigan had great wines, but to have something, this is a jewel that's in Macomb County. It's phenomenal.
Jessica Youngblood from Youngblood Vineyards talks a little bit about what made her get into the winemaking business.
Well, my family's been making wine, beer, cordials, anything you could turn into alcohol. They've been doing it since I was little, and so I was always interested in it. We spent a few years in Virginia. We've lived all over the United States, California, Washington, Virginia, but the 3 years that we spent in Virginia, we really fell in love with wine country. And all the wineries there have vineyards attached to them. They're all using local fruits. They're family friendly, and we just really wanted to create something like that here on our family farm.
At Youngblood Vineyards, they enjoy the craft of winemaking, taking the grape from the vine all the way to the bottom.
This vine that I found had been chopped off.
Well, I do love the craft of winemaking, and I love growing my own grapes and turning something that I've grown into something that we can drink. And wine is food, and to me, this is just a really cool creative process to be able to use our own produce here to make wine.
Everyone in the family seems to want to help out.
Well, I help my mom with pruning the younger vines. I help her with planting. I help her with pressing the grapes, harvesting the grapes, laying out the bins so we can put the grapes in, just pretty much everything.
Well, grapevines take about 3 years to grow and establish before they're big enough to be able to produce a crop, and so we haven't harvested off of our entire vineyard yet just because a lot of those vines are still too young. So off of last year's 2018 varieties, we harvested 19 tons, and we produced about 850 some cases, so just over 10,000 bottles.
And at Youngblood Vineyards, it's about teaching the process of winemaking, as well as tasting some good wine.
I love teaching people something new and to learn to appreciate these wines and to learn how to read wine labels and to understand what they're drinking, what they're spending money on, and how to pick wines in the future. I just think it's fun.
Living in Shelby Township.
Thanksgiving is all about watching some football, eating some really good food, and probably going into a food coma afterwards. The Senior Center started a little early for their Thanksgiving lunch. Let's see what's cooking.
Senior Center is the place where you can get your holiday cheers every month. And this month, it's Thanksgiving.
I just like being around seniors that I'm normally around during the week anyways, and different activities and stuff. I like of course, the food's always really good, and Movable Feast caters usually for that and the dinner dances. And I like learning when we usually have a speaker come and talk about, like today we have someone from the Red Cross, so I like the friendship and the entertainment. For sure, turkey's number one on the list. I love Thanksgiving turkey dinner and all the sides that come with it. I like usually being around family and friends, being out from that cold weather out there.
A special presenter at the luncheon was a Red Cross worker known as a Donut Dolly.
Donut Dolly was a term that the soldiers gave to the girls in World War II. They served donuts and coffee to the soldiers in rest areas in England in World War II. And the soldiers were so excited to see an American girl and talk with an American accent that they were thrilled to see us. And they gave us the name Donut Dolly.
As the seniors finished their Thanksgiving lunch, Joanne Kocher from the Red Cross spoke about what happened during one of her Thanksgivings.
We served something in the Thanksgiving dinner line, and then we moved on to the next unit and served something in their line. Meanwhile, the unit where we had been was hit just after we left. And then later that evening, at the end of the day, some of the soldiers were standing around. One of them had acquired a bottle of champagne, and they were sharing it in little tiny cups, which I think they got from the hospital. As he was pouring a portion which they were offering to me, a sniper took 3 shots at us. Crack, crack, crack. Everybody dropped to the ground. And it wasn't until later that I realized that wearing a light blue uniform out in the combat zone was not really healthy, because the sniper had targeted me. Everybody else was wearing camouflage, and there I am. Things like that happen to us occasionally. I was almost killed at least 6 times.
Living in Shelby Township.
That's all for this edition of Living in Shelby Township. I'm gonna go get what I shopped for and get out of here. See you next time.